How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with it. Another review? No, not another review. Another end of year video. Massive Beer Reviews, end of year 2017. That's what we're doing here. And this is the second of five total videos. The first one was our Best of Hops 2017. This one is our Best of Malts 2017. We're going to do, like I said, three other ones. We're going to do Funky, Best of Funky, and we're going to do Best of Shelfies, and then we're going to do my kind of thoughts on the year of 2017. So, buckle up. Hopefully you want to watch me yammer on because it's going to get kind of long. This one is our Best of Malts. I used to do like a best IPAs and best stouts, and they did best barrel age. This one's going to be a combination of the two, of the best kind of barrel age and best kind of stouts, just because I ended up with pretty much all barrel aged stouts in my top echelon of beers when it comes to the maltier stuff. There's a bunch of honorable mentions in here, and they're in here because there's a bunch of stuff that's non-barrel aged that I just wanted to kind of talk about real quick, really briefly, which means really long for me, but anyway. Here we go. Let's dive into it. 2017 Best Malts. Honorable mention number one was Alework Brewing's Cafe Royale Bourbon Barrel Aged Coffee Stout. Ryan from Virginia sent it my way. Absolutely loved it. Dug it. Killed it. Coffee. Bourbon. What's not to like? Second honorable mention, Great Rhythms Dulce Imperial Stout. Went on a trip up north. I actually went to Boston and Portland with George. That's the Troll Reviews, George. Ended up going to Great Rhythm based off of a tip from a Facebook viewer, and it was fantastic, and their Dulce really struck me. One of the better base Russian Imperial Stouts I've had from a new brewery in quite a long time, so yeah, definitely want to include that in this list. Another honorable mention, Puhala, their Imperial Baltic Porter, and even the Cognac Barrel Aged one. I did them kind of a versus style. I never had anything from Puhala before, and ended up picking up at Premier Gourmet up in Buffalo, New York, and just was kind of taken by the beers. They were absolutely fantastic, and wish I could have put them up top. It was such a hard list to put together. Actually, the hop and the funk version were pretty easily. This one was kind of a bit tougher, so many honorable mentions. Let's see, another one, Baby Tree. Now defunct brewery, but it was their 2010 or a Pretty Things Baby Tree, now defunct version, or now defunct brewery, now their defunct beer. It was their Pretty Things Baby Tree. Yeah, stumbled through that. 2010 I picked that up, that vintage. I just thought it was fantastic. In any other world, if I did that kind of list of non-barrel aged stuff, that sucker would have been on there because it was absolutely fantastic. Vault Brewing. Their 5th anniversary, it was a barrel-aged stout with coffee, vanilla, and coconut and coffee. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. One of the better barrel-aged beers I've had this year, but unfortunately I had so many fantastic ones that had to end up somewhere, and it ended up close enough, but not in the top 10, but deserved an honorable mention. Omnipolo's Noah Pecan. I love that beer. Thought it was fantastic. Again, one of the non-barrel aged kind of versions. It was just fantastic. Blew me away. But again, not enough to get in the top 10. That's how hard these are. So many good beers. And the last honorable mention, and this is the toughest one. This is the last one. I did them in kind of order. This is the last one that didn't make it. And I was kind of bummed because it was a non-barrel aged beer and it almost made it in the top 10. And all the other ones are barrel aged beers. Who would have thunk it? It was Barrel Monk's Parade of Souls Belgian Stout. Introduced to Barrel Monks this year by Ralph, Florida Ralph, who is infinitely generous. I ended up connecting with the brewery, and they sent me out some fantastic beers, and this is one of them, that Parade of Souls Belgian Stout. And it was so fantastic, from its yeast presence to malt and everything. Hard to whittle these down to a top 10, but got to do it, so... Here we go. The top 10. Number 10 is Carton Brewing's, it was their Sunday. It was their Cognac Barrel Aged Sunday. Yeah. I love me some Carton, and I love their darker beers. They kind of, whether it be Epitome, not Epitome, or it was Epitome, was a darker one. Was Alter Ego was another one. They've done some darker stuff like the Shipwreck Porter and things like that. But yeah, the Sunday cognac barrel aged. Blew me away. Absolutely fantastic. Nice little fatty 12-ounce can. There's a perfect balance between that and kind of rich, creamy, kind of Neapolitan kind of Sunday kind of thing going on in that cognac barrel. I mean, sweet, but it's a big Russian Imperial Stout with a bit of bits and pieces going on, sweet-wise, confectionery-wise, and that cognac barrel just married really well. So, absolutely love that beer. Number 9. I can't believe this is number 9 because this beer blew me away this year, which was Zigmeister's Dark Sovereign. It was their double barrel-aged cherry quad, which is double barrel-aged in bourbon and wine barrels. That beer was fantastic. I got it from the brewery. I've been to Zigmeister quite a few times this year. It was the closest brewery to my future wife's place. Closest brewery I like. Let's put it that way. To my future wife's home, and my future home, actually. And I love their beers, but that one just was next level shit. It absolutely blew me away. The marriage of that kind of Belgian darkness with that kind of double barrel of the wine and the bourbon. Super awesome. You can still find it on the shelves. You can still find it at the brewery. That's the craziest part about it. So if you can get some of that, pick it up. Absolutely fantastic. Number 8. Canadian beer. It is Nickelbrook's Brewing's Cafe del Bastardo. It's their barrel-aged coffee imperial stout. Basically, it's the Nickelbrook's Kentucky Bastard with the coffee element. It was fantastic. It was sent to me by Jacob, one of my Canadian viewers who is awesome enough to send me stuff from every now and then. It just blew me away. Love that beer to no end. Love the base. Love the Winey Bastard. Love Kentucky Bastard. Love the whole Bastard series. But that one just took it next level. And just that added coffee component with their perfect barrel aging that they do at Nickelbrook. Man, just amazing, amazing stuff. Number 7, Foundation Brewing's. It's their Mortimer Old Ale. It was a Jim Beam barrel aged ale. It's another one I picked up when I went up to Portland with George. And I like Foundation, but I never really had any of their barrel aged stuff. But I picked up this and another one, and I came back, and I was like, okay, an old ale, yada yada, and I cracked it, and man, was I absolutely taken back by it. It was one of the best representations of an American brewer doing like an English old ale, like a pseudo English barley wine that I've had in quite some time. That mixture of that Jim Beam barrel with that big kind of English old ale / pseudo barley wine blew me away. Thought it was fantastic. No way it wasn't going to be on this list. It's delicious. I want more. Please. Send me more. Somebody. Anyway, let's see. Number 6, Alvine Brewing's. It's their Cuvée du Mortange. It's their Belgian quad Pomerol wine barrel aged. I've heard of Alvine. I never had anything from them, I don't think, over the years. But I ended up getting a couple aged bottles in a local bottle shop by me, and I picked this one up. They had maybe 5, and I just kind of looked and looked and looked, and I just settled on this one. And I ended up having all the bottles from that bottle shop, and this is the one that really did for me. It had that really nice, rich, grapey vinousness from that wine barrel that added a little bit of tartness to this nice, sweet kind of a Belgian darkness, Belgian quaddiness that just worked for me. And it had age on it. I think it was a 2012 version. I could be wrong on that aspect, but it just did it for me. It had that marriage, the perfect marriage between a barrel-aged beer and a nice old Belgian beer. It had a nice funkiness to it, nice tartness to it, but at the same time, a nice sweetness to it. It wasn't sour, just funky. Beautiful beer. Absolutely beautiful beer that, again, want more of. Number 5, Demented Brewing's. It's their Nightmare Belgian Dark, aged in brandy barrels. Demented's brewery from Jersey. Never really had anything that kind of really flipped the script for me for these guys. I ended up getting a set of their Burn Barrel stuff from Keith. Thank you very much, Keith. And had all of them. Thought they were all fantastic. The Barrel Age series across the board. The Flanders was a little bit off for me, but the other ones were great. But this is the one that really did for me. And I had it 3 times since I reviewed it. So each time it impressed me each and every time. So it wasn't just a fluke in the mood kind of thing. Just that richness of that Belgian dark with that brandy barrel was perfect. Big, impactful, tasty, well-made beer that just blew me away. I couldn't believe how well that beer was done. For a brewery that I've had a couple things from, but never really kind of like, okay, whatever. You know, I like Demented. They're nice. They just didn't have that next level thing. And this beer kind of proved that they had it. Number 4, a beer that I reviewed only a couple weeks ago, actually about a week ago, and it's Ocelot Brewing. It's their capsized bourbon barrel aged milk stout. The marriage between that roasted malt and that smoky cherry barrel and that added dollop of that kind of milk stout lactose thing, and the way they did it and the balance they did it, fucking fantastic. Absolutely fantastic beer. Didn't have anything, never had anything from Ocelot. This was given to me by Tom, Brooklyn Tom, and he just, dropped the bomb on me. And the beer was absolutely fantastic, and something that, now I need to go find. All these beers I need to find again because they're so fantastic. Those barrel-aged beers, they're close to life. They're probably our life combined with barley wine. I'll tell you that much. Number 3, another beer I just reviewed. And I'm not going to lie, I tried the last 2. Sometimes I have beers that I review, and it takes me about a month to post them. These 2 I reviewed about a week or so ago, and I made sure I slipped them in this year because I liked them that much. And the other one was Block 15 Brewing. They're Hypnotized. It was their cognac barrel-aged English barley wine. Oh, man. This is what proves barley wine is fucking life, because this beer was absolutely fantastic. The way Block 15 works with their kind of barrel-aged program, combined with their big, rich, dark, maltier beers, is absolutely beautiful. They know exactly what they're doing to a T, and I don't even know what to say. It was heaven in a glass, something I wish I sipped on for years, not just moments. Raising nuttiness to that nice, beautiful, soft cognac in the barrel. Beautiful. Number 2, Fremont Brewing's. It's their bourbon barrel-aged Dark Star oatmeal. Rewind. Oatmeal stout, not barrel-aged, obviously. Again, sent to me by David. David is the killer. He sent me that Block 15. He sent me this one. The Fremont I reviewed quite a bit ago. But yeah, I mean, Fremont crushes that in the barrel-aged stage. They're absolutely know what the hell they're doing. And Dark Star was no different. He sent me the Rusty Nail this year, unfortunately. Actually, I'm not going to say unfortunately. I drank that with family and friends over Christmas. I didn't review it, which is totally fine. We're on that level with me and David. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to review that one next year. Probably would have been on this list if I reviewed it this year. But we have the Dark Star going for us. That beautiful, nice mouthfeel. The beautiful, well-balanced between the barrel and the stout. Just absolutely delicious beer. Fremont kills it across the board. So that's, no surprise there. And number 1, if you know me, this is not going to come as a surprise. It is Thomas Hardy's Historical Ale. It's the barley wine aged in Hein cognac barrels. Listen. Thomas Hardy made their glorious return last year in 2016, but they really didn't ramp up their production or make it to the United States till 2017. I was lucky enough to actually have them send me off some beer several months ago. And they sent me 2 bottles of their base barley wine, and they sent me 2 bottles of their cognac barrel-aged. 2016, I believe it was. And it tasted like a 10-year-old Thomas Hardy, which for me is one of the world's greatest gifts to beer. That beer ages fantastically, and that cognac barrel age basically just kind of accelerated its aging and made it just this rich and nuttiness with this nice, soft, kind of even subtle vanilla from that barrel, with a nice burnt off spirit of cognac, kind of reduced cognac that comes off sweet and gives you this all nice kind of rich fruity notes. It was just absolutely beautiful beer that was just about perfect and exactly where I want beers to land when it comes to this big, huge barley one is life kind of beer. So yeah, so good. The whole list is amazing. I mean, an honorable mention list is worthy enough. I almost looked at it around like, I can make the honorable mention list. I can make it just a base list of just base stouts, but I didn't want to go over crazy with the videos this year. I want to keep it relatively simple, even though I'm making still 5 fucking videos. But yeah, absolutely fantastic list. Great beers. I probably missed them if I did. If you watch all my reviews and you think I missed something, let me know. So yeah, amazing year in malty beers, barrel-aged beers, the whole 9. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this year of beer. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this year of me reviewing beers, malty or otherwise, because that's the whole thing. I do this because you guys are fucking killer. You guys watch and you crush it just from, you know, a comment standpoint to getting a touch me standpoint to everything about it. I do this because you guys are so fucking awesome. So there you go. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me doing this little countdown of my favorite malty beers this year. Hopefully you make your own little list, whether it be in video or other form, of your favorite beers this year and share them with me. And we'll see you next time. Cheers.